A homeless man sat at the corner of a crowded bridge, unseen by the countless people rushing by. He'd been ignored all day, and his spirit was breaking. Just as tears welled in his eyes, a gentleman in an expensive suit approached. This gentleman handed the homeless man a small amount of money and said, "I'll return in 1 week. If you manage to turn this into $50, I'll give you $100. The $50 you earn will be yours as well with that." The gentleman left, disappearing into the crowd. Determined not to waste this opportunity, the homeless man pondered how to make the most of the money. Sitting at the bridge wouldn't help, so he stood up, gathered his few belongings, and walked with the bustling crowd. People shoved and avoided him due to his appearance, but he didn't let it deter him. After a long walk, he found a supermarket. The guard hesitated to let him in, but eventually allowed him after seeing the money he held. Inside the store, he thought carefully about what to buy. He noticed a child holding an ice cream, and an idea sparked. He bought some ice creams, chocolates, candies, and cigarettes, items that could sell quickly. Walking through the streets, he tried to sell his goods, but people ignored him, recoiling from his appearance and smell. Discouraged but not defeated, he came across a park filled with children playing and parents sitting on benches. He laid his items out on a cardboard box under a tree, and sitting a bit away to avoid scaring off customers, he began to call out, "Ice cream for the good kids, chocolate for the naughty ones, and nothing for the bad kids." Laughter erupted from the benches. Children flocked to him, tugging on their parents to buy them treats. At first, the parents were suspicious. Some asked where he got the goods or if he had tampered with them. When he explained that he was homeless and trying to earn a living, some walked away, but many stayed and bought his items. He even sold cigarettes to adults, telling them they were saving a trip to the store and helping him out at the same time. By the end of the first day, he had made a $37 profit. Over the next week, he continued selling, eventually making $368.48 after covering his living expenses. 1 week later, the gentleman returned. Excited, the homeless man showed his earnings, confident that he'd earned the $100 reward. The gentleman smiled but said, "No, I won't give you the $100. Shocked, the homeless man demanded to know why. "You promised me," he said angrily. The gentleman simply laughed and replied, "I gave you something more valuable than $100. I gave you purpose. Now, it's up to you." With that, the gentleman vanished into the crowd. Realizing the truth in the gentleman's words, the homeless man was overwhelmed with gratitude. He ran to find him, but in the busy streets, he was gone. From that day on, the homeless man continued his work. He sold goods in parks, outside schools, and parking lots, eventually earning enough to rent a home and buy a bicycle for deliveries. After a year of hard work, he was hired by a local company to promote products. In a few months, he was promoted, and, due to his exceptional sales, the company gave him a house and car. Now living a comfortable life, he never forgot the gentleman. One day, he decided to return to the bridge. As he walked, he noticed how differently people treated him now. Women smiled, men nodded, and no one pushed him away anymore. At the same corner where he once sat, he saw another homeless man. Memories of his own journey flooded back, and he realized that, had the gentleman not helped him, he might still be in that spot. The former homeless man walked up to the homeless man, gave him some money, and said, "I'll return in 1 week. If you can turn this into $50, I'll give you $100. But when he returned after a week, the homeless man didn't recognize him at first. He hadn't made the $50. Instead, he had spent the money on small comforts, and when he finally remembered the former homeless man, he began begging for the $100. In that moment, the former homeless man realized that not everyone is ready to help themselves. He gave the man $20 and left, understanding that he couldn't force change. Moral of the story is sometimes the greatest gift isn't money, it's a purpose. And always remember, God helps those who help themselves. You can't help those who don't want to help themselves.
If you like this video with deep meaning, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel for more amazing content. Share your thoughts and tell us what kind of story would you like to hear, or what kind of stories you like.